crucial, and it says the local government needed to be viewed holistically, identifying and prioritizing projects calculated to make the most impact on the Kenya population, men, women, children and youth. On its scale of priorities, the Kenya has listed nearly a dozen major areas of challenge: access to council administration to bring ward councillors closer to the constituencies they represent, education for its children, affordable, qualitative and accessible healthcare facilities, electricity to spur growth of small businesses and provide modern comforts, potable water on which community health depends, feeder roads into remote communities to enable the Kenya farmers get their produce off their farms, and combating youth restiveness. If amenities are regular promise for politicians on the election trail, the Kenya had a worse problem. Even its administration officials lacked basic facilities, a functional secretariat, residences and offices for its executives and councillors. The lack has lingered for more than 40 years, keeping constituencies away from their representatives. The first push was construction of council accommodation and offices to keep officials in position and bridge the gap between them and the public, making them more physically accessible. Even the local government secretariat had to be renovated and housing for an extra department of budget and planning constructed. Then came the need for amenities, electricity, vehicles, simple modern office amenities to ensure officials stay put in their office when needed, and then other possibilities will follow naturally. Once done, public amenities were next, beginning with electrification. The electric poles went up and the power cables were drawn in. More than a dozen electrification projects have begun since August 2008, bringing lights to communities that have never used a light bulb on the national grid.
We are looking at it that once these facilities are available to our people should be able to think of what to do with light, because it's like helping our people to put their brain at work to see what they can use these lights to achieve for themselves.
Poles did not have to go through thick forest. Today, they line newly opened roads crisscrossing the Kenya local government area. The same roads that have remained closed and shut off communities in the interior as they were abandoned for more than 20 years. The roads have their primary use though. The Kenya has countless residents who make their living working the land. For these farmers, getting their produce out for sale is a major hassle. Inaccessible roads mean their produce do not sold, forcing them to consume the harvest or the products of their hard labor perish in storage. Accessible roads mean something positive. They can now easily transport their produce off their farms and straight to the markets with little time lost.
When I came in, I realized the fact that if you make a campaign promise, you should be seen to be living by it. And in my bid to really actualize that, I discovered that I won't be able to manage this. Rather, I had the opportunity to bring in machines that can really help us work. And God helping us, we have been able to bring in about 3 sound machines and a tipper that are actually in use practically, as you could see during your verification. We have a very sound bulldozer, we have a grader and a payloader. They are sound and they are in use for the past one and a half years. Yeah, because we brought them in February 2008, and I don't think we have any problems with them. It's just servicing here and there and ensure that they are on the road.
Markets are another issue entirely, and the Kenya needs them not just for commerce amongst its residents, but to boost the council's administration's own revenue base. In all, some 500 stalls, many of them locked up, have been constructed across the Kenya. These are not simply geographical locations for traders to sell their wares. They are a proof of work to encourage traders to pay revenue to the council, revenue needed to boost its allocation and finance infrastructure in other sectors. The logic is that an average stall owner responds more positively to council officials collecting revenue when they have a store to sell their wares in comfort and protect leftovers from theft or damage by the elements.
I must equally recognize the fact that we have a very serious fish pond that accommodates about 10,000 fingerlings here, and the pond is there, and we are getting close to the first harvest season. The reason is because we actually had managerial problem, and in trying to address that, the first fingerlings we actually put died off because of lack of management and all of that. You know, once you put this thing to public servants, they see it as nobody's property. And I thought there was sincerity in what I was doing with those who were in charge. When I discovered that it was not moving, we had to bring in some persons who could help us manage it. And as I talked to you, in about 1 month, we should be talking of harvesting about 10,000 fishes from that pond.
The revenues have naturally gone into health. At least 7 cottage hospitals now dot the landscape of Dekina, functioning as primary healthcare centers. A handful of water projects have been commissioned by the state government, but that has not stopped the local government from realizing that its residents need more. Boreholes have been sunk to sustain supply of potable water in sections of the council area. And then there are the future leaders to consider: education.
The importance of our local festival. The importance of our local festival is that the traditional festivals are celebrated in order to remember our ancestors or dead peoples.
The Kina Local Government Authority regards its present crop of youths as inadequately educated, hampering the chances of employment in industries requiring specialist skill and training. The Kina's children today need quite simple things to make every hour in classroom count. Simple request, as this young school boy makes clear.
We need small pencil and a Bible and a small soap, but they are trying for us.
It recognizes that its young children today may tomorrow fall into its vicious trap of poor education and consequent unemployability if education is not given more consideration. The children need instructional materials to learn. They also need classrooms in which to use them. 3